What's up, everybody? So, I want to share this with you guys because I want you guys to understand you always watch the news. And no matter how many times they're caught lying, they continue to do it. You would think that you would want the public's trust like it's ever happened before, but still. No, that's not true. Before the internet, you basically watched TV. You watched or listened to the radio, and whatever they put out, they put out. Everyone would listen to Walter Cronkite. I grew up in the news business, guys. A little bit about myself. My father was a CBS producer, CBS News in New York City, producer and editor. My grandfather was a CBS News producer and editor. In fact, if you were to go into Dan Rather's book, Dan Rather, by the way, guys, Dan Rather became famous because he caught the Kennedy story an hour before everyone did. That's what made Dan Rather famous, is he found out that he was dead way before anyone did. I don't know how, but he did. Anyway, in Dan Rather's book, he talks about how he called CBS News and talked to my grandfather. He named him Mort Dank to tell him the news. So I've got a lot of history and mixed feelings about the news because growing up I used to watch them cut tape, and guys, when I'm talking about cut tape, I'm literally meaning a straight razor and cassette tapes, and they would cut it and paste it to form the flow. That's how they used to do it in the 80s. I hate what it's come to. I hate what CBS News did to my dad, but I'm not going to talk about that publicly. I just want you guys to know where I'm coming from when I talk about this, okay? So it's not just me railing against the media, okay? I know the media. I know them all, okay? My father had a 25-year Vietnam newscaster, and like Morley Safer was there at Bradley. Dan Rather was there. I met him. They all knew him. So he was intricate with all that. I just want to be honest with you guys, because if you guys are going to follow me, someone's probably going to use that against me one day. But anyway, what I wanted to share with you was why. Why does the news always lie? How do they get away with it? How is that possible? Well, let me take you back to April 2nd, 1998. There were two award-winning Florida TV producers. Their names were Steve Wilson, by the way, and Jane Aker. So when I say Jane and Steve, you guys know who I'm talking about. They sued Fox News after they refused to broadcast false reports about Monsanto's bovine growth hormone, the RBST, right? The station had told Aker and Wilson to tone down the script. So let me back up a little bit so you guys can understand the context. They did a story into bovine growth hormone, and Monsanto didn't like it. They didn't like all the truths they were exposing, because there's a lot of things that you shouldn't be drinking that. In fact, if you go to like the supermarket nowadays, I think Fairlife, for example, is one, but you can actually see it says no RBST, not treated with RBST. Get those. Do not get the ones that have RBST in it. But anyway, what they basically did was they told them to tone down the script. They had this piece, right? And they were going to air it. That was going to share everybody the truth about this absolutely monstrosity that is RBST. And, well, Monsanto didn't like it. They did 73 rewrites in 1 year. And guys, by the way, I used to, at the end of high school and college, I was an actor in Manhattan, and I was working at Abercrombie too. And I understand, through reading scripts, through doing, films, through doing this, that, and the other thing, I really understand the process of a rewrite. Okay? It is not fun. It is like you're coming up with a completely different thing. They did it 73 times. It took a year. Monsanto wasn't happy with the last one, and they ended up getting fired. Now, RBST was approved by the FDA in February 1994. That is basically 4 years, give or take, 4 years before this story. And there's no labeling, no safety testing required. So they had this piece. And what ended up happening was Monsanto did that. They got fired. They ran it's called a puff piece. It's basically like a really soft, like what you see Joe Biden getting with the media, except for Peter Doocy. You see them, yeah. So these two sued Fox. And what happened was they presented their case, they presented their work, then Fox showed what they did. And you know what the court decided? The court decided that they were not right. They said that it is not illegal to falsify the news. That was the ruling that came down. So whenever you guys think that you're gonna look and find like a really nice news company that you like, or you find the right person, understand that it is not illegal to falsify the news. And that's why.